As a coordinating council JustServe specialist, there are so many ways to support your stake specialists through your engagement with their stake leaders. Helping stake leaders to not only better understand the vision and purposes of JustServe, but to be inspired to utilize it in their stake boundary often comes from the training you provide from the get-go. In the Gilbert Coordinating Council, we've identified a few ways to do this. The first thing we do when a new stake JustServe specialist is called is we contact their stake presidency and their stake relief society president. This is just a simple email, and it includes the stake JustServe specialist on it. In that email, we introduce ourselves and we invite them to a brief training at their convenience and at their location. This training will include either the stake president himself or his counselor, the relief society president, and the new JustServe specialist. If the stake president would like to include someone else, we invite him to invite them. We are clear in the invitation that the training for the stake presidency member will conclude after the first 15 to 30 minutes, and that he will then be excused as he would like. If he would like to stay, he's welcome to stay for the remainder. Otherwise, we will continue training the other two. At that training, we lay out the purposes of JustServe, how it is best implemented in the stake, and facilitate an open dialogue between that specialist, that new specialist, and those leaders. The training is very conversational as we seek to understand how that stake envisions JustServe working in their stake so that we can best support the stake JustServe specialist to stay within that stake presidency's inspired guidance for their boundary. Some of the questions we might ask are, what does your stake know about JustServe? How is JustServe currently being implemented in your stake boundary? Will your stake specialist have a budget to work with? Have you ever heard of a JustServe working group? We also present them with a list of nonprofits, schools, and other organizations within their boundaries so that the leadership can see the connections being made. Once that initial training has taken place, we invite all of those parties to our continued quarterly trainings with our communication council. The second thing we have identified as being helpful is we seek to train and facilitate a relationship with the Relief Society president and that JustServe specialist. We have found that that relationship sometimes needs a little nudge and a little extra care. I'll never forget Sister Eubanks, one of her very first trainings when I was put in, where she talked about that stake relief society president and that JustServe specialist, they need to be BFFs. And I just think that is so true and so helpful to this work, that they can help to understand their separate roles and how they work together. We reinforce this ongoing training at our annual Relief Society JustServe Specialist get together. So this looks a little bit like a luncheon, a dinner, dessert, and a training. We invite them, we feed them, and we train them. Our JustServe specialists usually do the serving, and we try to facilitate not only training, but an opportunity for that relationship to get a little spark. It's one of our favorite nights of the year. Some of the things we cover at that training, besides just having a good old time, is the power of the Relief Society to introduce and inspire service within her stake. She has the unique ability to be in meetings with the stake presidency and with other stake leaders that our JustServe specialists might not attend. And so her voice and her understanding of the blessings of the great program is vital. She will often get messages to their stake leaders and stake members more efficiently and powerfully than that stake JustServe specialist can, or has the capacity to, as much of her work or his work is happening outside the walls of the building. So working together is essential. I often describe this as the kindling of a fire together. A fire has the ability to warm, to invite, to feed, to provide light to any who wants to participate and gather around it. But if the stake specialist throws too many logs on that fire too fast, we all know what happens. Everyone jumps back. It's too hot. It can't provide the relief that it's designed to provide. And if the Relief Society president completely ignores the fire, we also know what happens there. It will not have that gentle flame necessary to provide that relief that it's designed to provide. Both parties together work to kindle and stoke that flame at a steady, consistent, and appropriate warmth to do what it needs to do. Learning to stoke that fire together is essential for this work, and that yearly training really helps us to facilitate that. The last thing we have found to be effective in supporting our stake leaders is to simply model the work. As a communication council, we work really hard to present a unified effort that includes that priesthood leader. They are part of that council. It also includes our communication director, JustServe Specialist, and the social media specialist at the least. That's the bare bones, and it can be expanded from there. At our quarterly council trainings, our Area 70 comes so that we can again model that unified effort, both in word and in deeds. The things that we say at that meeting and do at that meeting are all designed to model this unified effort, and it's very helpful so that all of the priesthood leadership can see what a vital role they play on that council. They don't have a council, they are part of a council. As those stake leaders see how it's done at the communication, at the coordinating council level, they can implement it better in their stake and understand their vital and important role in this beautiful work.